Writing a Children's Story. Brainstorming, Character Development, CER. Lesson 2. Lesson 2. Brainstorming, Character Development, and CER. What will be covered in this section are your best ideas. Developing your main character. Start your story quickly. Determine the main problem. Use repetition. Write for illustrations. End the story quickly. Choose your title. Walk the plank. Revise the story if needed. Developing your main character. What does your main character desire? What is their best or worst habit? Are they an introvert or an extrovert? How do they speak differently than everyone else? Cute sayings, repeated phrase words, dialect, high, low, volume, whatever. Do they doubt themselves or do they have too much bravery? Do they have pets or does your animal character have human owners? What makes your main character feel happy? Do they have any secrets? What would this character do if that would be out of character? What is one thing this character loves that most people dislike? Start your story quickly. Many unpublished children's books fail to grab the child's attention and the parent's attention, and that's because they start slow. If your story is about a child joining the circus, they should join the circus on the first or second page. Number 2, start your story quickly. Don't give the backstory about the child's life. Don't set the scene or tell us what season it is. Just have the circus come to town as soon as possible. Have the child become a clown or a tightrope walker or a lion tamer, whatever part of the circus. Don't give us all the background fluff that little kids don't want to listen to. You have such a short space to tell your story that you can't waste any time. The pacing of children's stories generally moves lickety-split, so don't write at a tortoise pace. Number 3, what's the main problem? Every character has a problem. It could be a mystery, it could be a person, it could be a crisis of confidence. That problem is that they will struggle with for the entire book. The majority of the book will be the obstacle the main character has to hurdle before they can solve their problem. The character solves the problem too easily. Make your character really struggle and fail. Ideally, the main character should fail at least 3 times before solving this problem, and perhaps fail as many times as 5 if you're writing for older children. There are not a series of obstacles. On the character's way to solving the problem, the main character should run up against a whole bunch of obstacles. Don't have him defeat the single obstacle, then voila, the problem is solved. To build a rocket ship to fly to space, the main character should lose some parts. His mother should call him from dinner. His friend should tell him it won't work. It should rain, etc. Don't make it easy on the character. Give him something to go through. Make him use some grit. The character doesn't care enough about solving the problem. This has to be a huge problem for the child. They have to feel like it's a matter of life and death, even if the actual problem is only a missing button. As long as the child feels like it's a huge problem, the reader will feel like it's a huge problem. Use of repetition. Children love repetition. Parents love repetition. Everybody loves repetition. If you're not repeating something in your children's book, it's not going to be a great children's book. There are 3 types of repetition you can use. Repetition of a word or phrase on a page. Repetition of a word or phrase across Write for illustrations. A good illustrator can radically improve your book. You will be the illustrator for the book. Think about how you want to illustrate your book. Think about illustrations. Choose fun buildings for your setting. Put it in a greenhouse rather than a schoolhouse. Think about funny-looking main characters. A lemur is much more fun to draw than a dog. Get out in the open rather than being inside. Wheat fields are more entertaining than a bedroom. Indoor locations limit illustrations. Outdoor locations offer more opportunity for illustrations. 6. End the story quickly. Once the main problem of the story is resolved, the cat is found, the bully says he's sorry, the 2 girls become friends again, you only have a page or 2 to finish the book. Since the story is done, there's no longer any tension for the reader, which means they don't have an incentive to keep reading. So do them a favor, end the book as quickly as possible. Choose your title. Now you may say, why are we figuring out the title after we're all done writing? Good question. The truth is that many writers don't know the essence of the story until after they write the book. So you can have a temporary title, but just know you'll probably revise it after you've finished. And revising is fine. Everybody revises. Don't be afraid to change your title multiple times until you hit the exact right one. The title is the #1 marketing tool of your book. Use similar first letter alliteration. Say your book is about Amy's adventure finding a whole meadow full of poppies and how she befriended a mouse there. Don't title it Amy's Adventure with Poppies. Do title it The Mouse in the Meadow. Don't use a descriptive title. Many people just describe the contents of the book in the title, but I would warn against this. For instance, there's a book about a boy who's searching through a vast library to find a special book about eternal life. What would you title this book? Don't The Vast Library. It's boring. Don't The Library Hunt. This is better. Hunt is a good word, but the combo with library is intriguing. Do How to Live Forever. This is the actual title and is great. This is the name of the book the boy is searching for, and the reader knows he will be doing some deep topic discussion. Use an action title. You want energy in your title. A lackluster title will spoil your book's chances for sure. That means you want fun, active verbs inside your title rather than passive ones. Don't Johnny's Wonderful Day. Do Captain Johnny defeats Dr. Doom. Captain Johnny makes it more playful. We have an active verb of defeat, and Dr. Doom uses alliteration. Use the technique of mystery. Does your title tell the reader everything they want to know about the topic, or does it provoke their curiosity? The goal is to give enough information that the reader says, that sounds fun. Don't The Bird in the Window. Do the places you'll go. What places? Do Olivia saves the circus. How? We want to know how. Do How to Catch an Elephant. Tell me more. Google children's book, your title. If you want to see if the title is already taken or if there's a title that is too close, now say the perfect title is already in use. Can you still use that title? Yes. People can't copyright titles, but you'll have a hard time distinguishing your book from that book, so it's not always the best idea. Test your title with children and adults. It's important to see how children react with your title. Are they excited? Do they seem bored? But remember that children aren't the ones buying the book. Parents are. So make sure to bounce it off some adults as well and get their reaction. Arrgh, walk the plank. Read your story out loud. This is where you hear what does not sound right. Fix it. And have someone else read your story out loud. Listen to anything they have to say. Fix your story, then fix it. Most unpublished children's books are too wordy. Make every single word, every single phrase, every single sentence walk the plank. In other words, you highlight it and hover over the delete button. This is walking the plank moment. And ask yourself, if I cut this, will the story no longer make sense? Continuing with, most unpublished children's books are too wordy. If the story will still make sense, then push that phrase or sentence off the plank. Delete it. If the story will not make sense, then that word or phrase or sentence gets a reprieve. At least this round of editing. In general, the shorter your children's book, the better chances publishers, agents will like it, the better chances you'll have of pleasing children and parents. The slides will be available in Schoology for you to use if you need them. Day 2 to-do list. Between now and the next class, you need to have completed your story. You have checked for unnecessary words, phrases, eliminate them. Have someone else read your story out loud, give them feedback, rewrite your story. Begin working on illustrations if you haven't already.